Hi there, welcome back to yet another chapter. This chapter is storage classes in C language. Again, not a very common topic, but lots of interview questions based on this particular topic because the things that are used, the words, the phrases, these things which are used in this particular chapter are very frequently asked. So know them carefully. Alright. So let's start with the session. Storage classes. Any idea what they do? I'm sure most of you who are aware of C language have gone through storage classes. Maybe some of you don't remember, some of you remember, but still then for your information, what storage class does? It talks about a variable, simply a variable. Got it? What it talks about? A variable, if you look at a variable, what it has? It has a data type, it will be stored somewhere, it will take memory, alright? Particular type of value it can store, all these things. Apart from all this, the important thing is every variable has something called storage class. Remember that. Alright. So let's go ahead. Let's first of all look at the definition of a storage class. Have a look at this slide and I'll also tell you what storage class tells us. Okay. It tells us 5 things about a variable. These are the 5 things. Here is the slide for you. What it tells us? It tells us about the visibility and location of a variable in short, but actually there are 5 things. The scope, it tells us, scope means the boundary within which the variable will be, there. The location where it will be physically stored, the place where it will be physically stored. Initialized value of the variable, default initial value which we call, okay. We call it the default initial value for a variable. Lifetime, how long the variable will live, and important, who can access the variable. Who can means the function, which function can access it, which function cannot access it, all those things. Okay, and please look at the note. This is what I was talking about just a few moments back. Not only associated with the data type, its value, but also a storage class. So every variable has a storage class, remember that. Got it? Clear? Now there are 4 storage classes, and there is a bit of confusion because in some books I have seen these 4, apart from these 4 which I am going to mention to you, they mention a 5th saying type def is a storage class. Do not go by that. I repeat, do not go by that. There are only 4 storage classes. What are they? Auto, extern, static, register. I repeat again, auto, extern, starting and register. Let's look at them and let's look at their purpose. Here is a slide which will show you the names and the purpose. First one is auto. It is a default storage class for any variable, but here I'll make a bit of a correction. I'll tell you it is a default storage class for any local variable, a variable within a block. Alright, then comes extern, it's for global. Global as well as something called semi-global. I'll tell you and I'll show you the example later on. Static, it is a local variable, but within function, from function to function, while jumping from function to function, I can use this variable to retain values. Okay, that's what it is talking. It says it is capable of returning a value even when control is transferred to the function call. Transferred to the function call. Okay, and then the last one, that is register, a variable which is stored inside a CPU register. That is the specialty of this variable. And remember, just to tell you, this register type variables, they are very fast. Okay, got this? Now let's start with the first one, that is auto. All small. Alright, auto stands for automatic. Got it? Automatic is for every variable that is within a scope. And mind it, when I am talking about a scope, normally it's a pair of curly braces I am talking about, or maybe I am talking about a bracket. Very simple, pair of brackets. Okay, and most of the time it is curly braces. Within a pair of curly braces, if I declare a variable, I say integer m. Now m by default the storage class is auto, remember, because it is within a block, unless and until I specify otherwise. Okay, I can use the keyword auto, but it's a dummy keyword. You don't have to use it. You do not have to. It is the only dummy storage class as a keyword. Alright. So automatically m will be called auto. Now why it is called auto? Because its memory is automatically preserved. Okay, implicitly. You don't have to explicitly reserve any memory for it. The moment it is declared, memory will be reserved for it. Got it? Now the 5 points. What are the 5 points? Based on the what it tells us, what we have seen that slide. What are the 5 things? Where the variable will be stored, what will be the scope, what will be the light time, what is the default value of the variable, and fifth one, who can use it. Got it? So let's look at what are the things with auto. These 5 points, based on these 5 points, we'll judge auto as a storage class. Have a look at this slide. It tells you, first of all, scope, within the block in which it is declared, live within the same block, default value is garbage. If you don't explicitly give a value, it will have a garbage value. And where is it stored? It is stored in a stack. Normally it is the program stack which you talk about. In a stack it is stored. Okay, who can access? The block. The block within which it is available, that block only can access that variable. Got it? So these are the 5 points about auto. Okay, these are the 5 points. So within this scope, if I have m, like I have shown you over here, alright, within this scope, if you have m is visible within this scope, life is within the scope. You come out of this scope, it will not be visible. Is that clear to you? Have a look at this particular example, you will be clarified. Very clearly it tells you how it works. Have a look. Look at this particular example. Here you have main function, within that you have a j. Look at the 3 scopes, I have put them separately. Main function scope, within that you have the variable j with a value 1. Then you have a scope, and mind it, scope can have a name, it may or may not have a name. You can have named scope, or you can have anonymous scopes or unnamed scopes. So here it is unnamed scope, simple scopes. So now get into the second pair of curly braces after main. Okay, that within those curly braces again you have declared the variable j with 2, the value is 2, and again there is a third pair of curly braces where you have declared j with a value 3. And remember, all these 3 are separate variables. Now to prove something, I'll tell you how they will be stored. Okay, you have 3 scopes over there in that example, right? 3 pairs. This is a major, this is one minor, and this is another minor. So what happens, you have j here, you have j within this scope, you have j within this scope. All the 3 scopes have the variable j, right? Now, what happens? We said no, it will be stored in stack. This is where this j had a value 1, so here. And stack, the rule is on the top of each other they will be created. So stack, the first stack for the major A is j has a value 1. This stack j will have a value 2, and the stack above that j will have a value 3. And stacks are removed in that order. So first this particular scope will be removed, j with a value 3, then this. Got it? And life also remains the same within this block. You come out of this block, this j is gone, it will be gone from memory, it will never be available again. That is how it happens. Okay, got this? So let's look back at the slide. This is the slide. Alright, got it? And look at the output. Which printf statement, the innermost printf statement will get executed first, and it will print the value of j as 3, then the outer one, then finally the block that belongs to main function. So the output will be 3, 2, 1. And what is important is look at the order in which they are getting executed, starting from the inner till the outer. Got it? And that is how those j variables, they will be created and they will be destroyed. Clear with that? Okay? Okay. Now let's look at the second one. Writing in capital, but as I said, the keyword is always in small. So you have to write extern as a keyword. Okay? This is again very important as a storage class, let me tell you. Why? Because this creates a lot of confusions. I'll tell you how and when. Got it? First thing you understand is extern is for global variables. That means it will be, its life will be throughout the program. Okay? Visibility partial, because when I said global variable, there are two things. One is global, another is semi-global. With an example, I will explain that to you. In no book you will find this thing called semi-global. They have never written it. But you understand why and how it is semi-global. We can prove that. Got it? Now let's have a look at this slide and understand first of all the 5 points about extern. Have a look. Extern means what? External. Okay. Scope, global, semi-global. Life till the program is running. That means till the end of the program. Default value, it will always get a default value of 0. The value can be changed. Okay. Place of storage, data segment. Within the data segment it is stored, and who can access the current program as well as any external program also, and that is the beauty of using external storage class variable. The current program can use it and any external program can also use it. Okay, got it? Clear with that? Any variable outside the scope, you can safely say the storage class is external. For example, if you have a main function here, got it? A very simple example. I have integer x here. This is a global variable, and by default the storage class will be what? External. Clear with that? And what will be if I try to print the value of x here? Print a %d comma x. What it will print? Remember I told about the default value. The default value is 0. So this will print what? 0 as a value. Alright. But if you have a local variable by the same name within the block, then this local variable will hide this global variable. That is something very important. Please remember that. Clear? So that is how it goes. Now let's have a look at one particular example. Why I told you it is bit confusing while using extern, and I mentioned something called scope, something called global, something called semi-global. So have a look at this example, then I'll explain you through that example how it works. Okay, have a look. Look at that. You have a display function. The prototype is given over there. Main function. Within main function, you are saying printf x. You are trying to print the value of x. Then you are calling display function, and then again printing the value of x. Got it? Clear with that? And what display function? Look at that line below that main function. The line below main function. You know what you find is below the line below main function, the definition of the external variable is present. You are defining the variable over there. The definition is int x equal to 10. Suppose you say only int x, automatically it will get the value 0. Then you have display function. Now when I try to execute the program, look at the output, it gives an error. It says undefined symbol X. Why, very simple reason. Keep looking at this particular code, then I'll tell you why. Look at main function and look at display. Integer AX, the definition of integer AX is sandwiched between the two functions. It's below main function, above display function. So you know what happens? For main function, X is not global, it is semi-global, since it is available below main function. And for display function, X is global. That is the problem over here. Okay, getting it? So understand this. This is a typical problem. Okay, this is called linking error. Linking the actual variable with the use of the variable. Like main is trying to use the variable X, but where it is available below. Okay, and when the compiler goes through this program, it will go from top to bottom, and by the time it gets the statement printf X in main function, it doesn't have any idea what X is, so it gives an error. Got it? So what is the solution? What do you think is the solution? The solution is declaring X within main function, and this is how we do it. Got it? Look at that. The line that declares X within main function. Extern integer X, and printing the value of X. What value will it print? It will print. The moment you go for that extern declaration, compiler will have the knowledge about the variable. Okay, that this is a variable which is available externally somewhere. Alright, so below X has a value 10. So that value will be picked up over the last printf statement, the first printf statement, I'm sorry. And that printf statement will print the value of X as 10. Okay, then you are calling display function. Okay, in display function, you are saying printf X. Again, what it will print? What it will print? It will print 10 again, the same value, because the value has not changed till now. Then X equal to X plus 50. So what is the value of X now? 60. So after calling display function, when the control goes back to main function, the printf statement below the function call, display function call, will print what value? It will print 60. Got it? So this is what is declaration versus definition of the variable. See, what is important is, you remember we talked about that. We said global and semi-global. So if you have a function X function, you have a function Y function. Very simply understand, if I have this integer num which is declared here, for X function num is semi-global. The definition of num is semi-global. For Y function it is global. That means Y function can directly see num. It can use num. But for X function to use num, it has to declare num within it. That is called the external declaration. Got it? Now with another example, let's understand this declaration and definition. Alright? Through more than one function. Have a look at this particular example. You have first function and second function, two different functions. Got it? External declaration is there in main function. Then look at the right side, you have first function, then below that you have second function. In first function, we are declaring X again, external integer X, that is the declaration. Because where integer X is declared, look at line number 7 on the right side. In between those two functions, first function and second function, you have the definition of the external variable, that is int X equal to 10. But look at second function. Second function is just below that definition, so it can directly see X. Now what happens? From within main function, you call first function. First function is having an external declaration, so no problem. it can access x. What is the value of x? 10. So it prints that value, after which it changes the value. What is the value now? 20. After which the control goes back to main function, because remember we had called first function. We go back to main function where there is a call for second function. Second function can directly print the value. The value has changed by this time. Know that. So what is the value second function will print? The value has changed to 20. So second function will print the value 20. After that, within second function, what you are doing? You are again changing the value by adding 10 to it. So by the time control goes back to main function again, the value has become 30. So in main function, when you are trying to print the value, it will print the value 30. Got it? Clear? So I hope you are clear about these two, auto and extern. Another two are still left. We have not discussed it. We'll discuss it in another session. Okay, let's keep it here. But before I sign off, remember one thing: auto and extern. Both these storage classes. Auto, to be very frank, auto is not that important. Maybe one or two examples somewhere you get, but extern is extremely important, as I told you. Okay, and apart from that, take care. Those points where it is stored, what is the scope, what is the default initial value, all those things. They are important. Is it clear to all of you? Okay then, signing up with this part. Next part, we'll talk about the other two storage classes. Till that time, bye bye.